Right, so I've had way too much caffeine today, so I feel like it's a really good time for me to make a video. 10 of the stupidest things people have ever said to me about breastfeeding. Number one, when are you going to start giving him normal milk? Number two, I was told that my breasts aren't even making milk anymore. I actually had express breast milk in the fridge at the time and just completely blanked. Like, I really wish I'd gone to the fridge and be like, here, would you like a drink of this invisible, non-existent milk? Number three, I was told to put Farax in his milk and then slice the tip of the teat off. No, I'm not going to do that. Four, at my son's first birthday, a friend's boyfriend, who I had never met before, asked me if I was still breastfeeding, and when I said yes, he told me that I had to wean immediately. Thanks, complete stranger, I will absolutely take your advice on board. Five, a friend told me that I should stop nursing my son to sleep because it's a bad habit, but her toddler, who was 6 months older, was still falling asleep with a dummy. Number six, a family member one time called me she was actually pretty coy about it. She called and she asked me, how is my son going with, not having booby anymore? And I said, he's still breastfeeding. And then she shouted at me and told me that I had to wean him, and don't do that. Seven, when I had mastitis when my son was 2 and I went to the doctor to get antibiotics and she asked me how old my baby was and I told her, she laughed at me. A doctor told me that I had to wean my daughter because she was 1 year old, and I said, no, well, I'm happy to keep breastfeeding. World Health Organization recommends breastfeeding for a minimum of 2 years, which I thought was a really cool thing to say to a doctor. And the doctor was like, yeah, but most mums wean by 12 months. That's a good enough reason for me to wean my child. Number 10, and this was probably the worst and retrospectively the funniest. I had a nurse tell me the only reason that my 2-year-old was breastfeeding was because I offered it. If I stopped offering it to her, then she would stop breastfeeding. And at that time, I was having the word boobies shrieked at me multiple times a day by my tiny little dictator. I want her to breastfeed and she's not even into it. And so I just kind of stared at her and she was like, ha! Like my stunned silence somehow proved her right. Just ignore people. You can breastfeed your baby or your toddler or your preschooler for as long as you want. It's your body and it's your baby and it's your choice, and there is no use by date. Breast milk doesn't go off. I mean, it goes off, but not when it's still inside your boobs.